Hello, hello. Welcome, guys. I am Risa. I am your host today, and I would like to welcome you to WGO. What's going on with the amazing Swagger magazine? And I am so excited today. We have a wonderful guest here today, and she is none other than a New York City based fashion designer and the owner of Zion LLC. And I'm sure she's going to tell you a little bit about that. So, anyway, welcome, Monique Glover. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's very nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. So, we're just going to just dive in with this interview and conversation, guys. And listen, if you're listening or looking, if you have any questions, just type them in, comment, and I'm sure that Monique Glover will be glad to answer any questions that you may have or comments that you might want to do. Don't be shy, just dive on in and please like and share, guys. Like and share. So let's just start. You are a New York City fashion designer. Where did that begin?
Well, I feel like I tell this story a million times, but I am a New York City native, fourth generation New Yorker. And since I was 9 years old, I knew I wanted to be a fashion designer. I
Oh,
watched,
really?
yeah, I was a very old soul. I'm a oldest of a total of 10 children. At the time, I was the oldest of I think maybe three or four, and so no, actually, I was the oldest of five by that time. And so I was, always wondering. We played with Barbies. Barbie always had multiple careers, so I always wonder what
He
sort of
did.
career would I want, right?
Right, right.
And I happened to be watching a PBS special that came on after Mr. Rogers, and it was about a man who made clothing for African royalty.
Oh,
And I really wish I remember what the program was about. I was 9; it was a long time ago. So I saw these drawings of this of the clothing, and I said, "Oh my goodness! Like I love to draw, and I think that's something that I would want to do."
hmm.
So over those years, thank goodness for amazing, caring teachers in the New York City public school system that sort of helped me improve my drawing for free and my skills in painting and using charcoal. I was able to get into Farella H. LaGuardia High School, also known as the Fame School, as an art
Right.
major. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Very
Yes,
cool.
as an
Hmm.
art major. And then I went to Pratt Institute and got my degree um, in fashion at Pratt Institute.
Hmm. Okay. Well, very nice. So your company, Zion, did I say
Zaim.
Zaim?
Always like I always tell people it rhymes with Jaheim.
Okay, okay, Zaim.
Zaim.
Okay, very
Zaim.
nice. Well, okay, so you said that is named after your son.
Hmm.
So what in this company, can you tell us a little bit about this company and what all do you offer and where can people find it at?
Well, I started working the day after I graduated from Pratt Institute.
Okay.
I was interning at Ralph Lauren Children's Wear, and I just happened to bump into someone that was I believe she was like a director of design, and I was photocopying, and she asked me who I was, so I did my pitch, and I said I really needed a job, and she's like, well, why don't you come in tomorrow? We'll see what we can do. And so I was hired. I interned for a few months, and then I was hired. And at the time, they were an umbrella company owned by Schwab. So I was designing for a company called Little Me. It was a very old meaning. It was around for a very long time. Very family owned brand.
Mhm.
And after, because I just really I really just wanted to do. Even now, I put my best foot forward in any situation.
Right.
I I took on the jobs that no one else wanted to do. And so I happened to just in the beginning work on Christmas programs, and something that I designed that was new ended up being on the billboard of Lord and Taylor. And this was like a few months in. And so for me, it felt really nice that it showed me that if you work hard and there's something that you really want to do, no matter what the job is, if you try your best and make some lemonade out of lemons, you never know what can happen. So from then on, I worked for so many companies. I designed a career for Dillard's department store, Macy's. I helped to launch a brand
Wow.
called Art and Soul, which did very well for Macy's. Um, Reebok Kids, just a lot of different companies. And
Mhm.
after becoming a mom, I was traveling at the time to India for 3 weeks at a time, China, shop in Europe. It was a very demanding, and also at the same time, taking on the avenue of going into more of commercialized design instead of high
Mhm.
fashion. Like when you
Yeah.
see, like you see everyone thinks of Project Runway or like Gucci and those brands. um that going that direction may have been amazing for me, but at the time, um I really needed a job. And
Mhm.
also, um I think I knew then that I had the skill of designing things that a lot of people may like.
Okay.
And so I felt like, even though I had these amazing opportunities, it's very political. And sometimes you don't see a lot of inclusivity in
Mhm.
those kind of situations.
Right.
And as a mom, it became a bit much, feeling like it's always competitive,
Mhm.
and you just need to have that work-life balance, and also not being able to express myself. And I think that's, for me, that's one of the things that really, it's a trigger for me, to feel like when you can't be you, and you feel like you are not being heard, that's
Right.
almost like you're like in prison.
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
right?
Definitely. Yes, I
So
agree.
it was like a very I had a very happy accident at the time. My son was 6 years old, and we were going to an Essence block party. Brooklyn, they used to have these block parties in Brooklyn every year.
Oh,
The first year I went, I didn't take him. It was the first time I ever gone, and I was like, oh my goodness, this was really cool. And so the next year, he was getting a little older, and I was like, you know what, I want to match him. He's gonna be my little accessory. Um,
yes.
and in order for him to want to engage and have a good time, I said, okay, you can bring your cousin, and then we'll invite some friends. And I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I just make some outfits for all of them? And the photos ended up going viral on social media, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
in
nice.
essence, even publicized a lot of them. So that was the first time where I felt like, I think I have something that's my own.
Right,
It's not anything that I would have designed for another company, or it looks like someone else. This is actually something I've done myself. So I worked on it more, enhanced it more, and then decided to launch Zaim Kids. So I started out with Zaim Kids for a few years, and then over the time, I found that adults were repeatedly asking for the children's items in their size. So I decided to size them up specifically
nice.
during the pandemic. Yes, during the pandemic, um, I had more adult customers than children, and to this day, right now, I have more adult customers than children, but I still keep children in mind first.
Okay. Now, is that one of the your outfits in the back in your background?
Yes, this happens to be one of my outfits. It's actually um a children's garment, but it's on a woman's
Very
form,
nice.
which shows that uh fashion can be pretty, it's not universal, but I one of my taglines is style for all ages.
Mhm.
So just to show how
Wow.
things can size up. Sometimes I'm even wearing items that I had for made for children, because of the silhouettes are pretty forgiving and and
Yes.
friendly.
Yes. Yes.
Size friendly. Um yeah. So I think my most popular items that I'm known for is my kimono jackets
Okay.
and jumpsuits. But the kimono jackets are definitely a thing for my brand.
And now, is that a shirt or a dress behind you, or with a little gel
This
cap?
is actually three pieces. This is
Oh,
a this is a topper,
yes.
and then this is actually a skirt set that was is a part of a Shein collaboration that I did last year.
Okay.
I did a collaboration with the retailer Shein for 2 seasons, and I will most likely be back again for another season.
All right, guys, y'all heard her. Now that's a very popular site. I
Yes, it
love
is.
seeing.
Yes.
I love it. So,
Yes, it's
uh,
nice to have the opportunity to, especially for independent as a independent designer, to be
mhm.
able to sell to people from all over the world.
All over. Yeah. Yeah,
And,
all over.
and it is a good, also too, a great learning tool to get an idea of what works for your brand.
Yes, of course. That's great. Congratulations to you on
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So now, what are some of your handles where people can find you? If they're looking for you or looking for your clothes, do you have a website, or where can they look for you at on social media? What are some of your handles?
Well, you can get more ideas about my projects and what I do. And by the way, I just had a really amazing project that was revealed last week. There's a mall in Queens called Queens Center Mall,
Hmm.
and it's their 50th. It's They were celebrating their 50th anniversary. It's well, this year is their 50th anniversary, but last week was, I guess, the day 50 days.
Yes.
Not 50 days, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
They celebrated it, and they I was asked along with one other designer to create a window, just like a window installment
Hmm.
outside of Queens Boulevard to celebrate their 50th anniversary. So
Okay.
one of the designers did Queens of the Past, and I was asked to do something that represented the future of Queens. So that will be that can be seen if anyone's in New York and happens to be in Queens. You can see that that'll be up for months. And that was I really enjoyed that project. I think it was a great way to display um, what I do. It's
Hmm.
out, and it was outside. It's out, definitely outside of the box. Because
Yes.
sometimes fashion shows is fun and they're great, but as a designer, I we oftentimes, and I would have to speak. I think I can speak for other designers. We
Hmm.
can do more than just design clothing. So
Yes.
we're
Mhm.
artists too. So it was a great way to showcase that,
And
and also.
speaking of that, artist, you were in a documentary on HBO. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, my brand and the children wearing my clothes, not my me. I was not in
Yes.
the documentary, but
Right.
yes,
Mhm.
I really appreciate the uh Jamel Shabazz for inviting me to take part. He has taken photos a few times of children wearing my apparel, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to be aligned with Gordon Parks, which is who the documentary is about. Because Gordon Parks is definitely someone who I think is the epitome of the type of creative that I look up to for the
Mhm.
activism, and the fact that he was a Renaissance man. And because I sort of feel like I feel like that's somewhat of I'm similar in that vein, where
Mhm.
I'm not just an apparel designer, I'm a
Okay.
creator. So there's a lot of things that I enjoy, along with showcasing and sending a message through the design of clothing. So
Oh,
it was called A Choice of Weapons, and I think that is an amazing name because of the
yes.
fact that as artists, what we do, um, we can use to um, promote whatever we want to promote. And my brand overall mission is to promote positivity, empowerment, and self-expression.
Very nice. Very
But
nice.
my handles, I'm like talking a lot in it.
No,
But
it's okay.
my handles are IG is at ZYEM _ NYC. The kids handle is at ZYEM Kids. And you can see more things that I offer. My website is Glover, GLOVER.ZYEM.com.
ZYEM.com.
Yes.
Nice. All right. Another thing that I wanted to ask you about was the fact that you were featured in a magazine. And I think that's pretty cool too. You have had some really great opportunities and things that happen. So, could you tell us a little bit about the magazine that you were featured in, and how was
Um,
that to you, and how do you feel about that? Was that a great experience
which
for your company?
magazine?
Oh, you've been in several. Okay, I thought it was Bella, but tell us about all about it if you've been
Yeah.
in more. That's
Well,
wonderful.
the Bella magazine, once again, I think Bella is a very cool magazine. I think I would say, I'm not gonna say it's similar, but Swag Her is a great platform because it promotes women and women entrepreneurs, and women are really um working hard to do their thing. And I think Bella magazine is similar in that vein. So it was great to be included with a group of content creators,
Hmm.
people that create content with a
Hmm.
mission based. And so they shout out a few of us who, I guess, made the cut in the list,
Yes.
with the
Mhm.
caravan road trip women, who are two really cool, amazing women, and I truly appreciate being a part of it, especially since that year, before a lot of the roller skating things were going on. I
Right.
I came up with an idea to create a collection for the children that was roller skate based. This was back in 2021. So
Okay.
and also offering customized roller skates, which I still do now. So it
Nice.
was
Nice.
great. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Thomas Concordia, he's like a celebrity photographer. He shoots all of the runways. He decided to create a video about content creators that included myself.
Uh-huh.
And so Bella Magazine sort of captured that in picture form, in written form, about what we do. So my photos were based on the roller skating theme that at that time.
Okay. Well, that's nice. That's very nice. Now, what is this I hear about a Black Panther, the movie?
Oh yes, that was quite some time. That was quite some time ago. My When Black Panther, with the first Black Panther. That was a really big deal. How excited
Yeah.
were we? I don't know. Did you
Oh,
dress up?
I know. I didn't know. Yeah. I watched the movie, but I didn't know it was your design in there.
Well, not in the actual movie. What happened was, I was help I at from time to time I would assist the brand Toddlewood, which I don't know
Mhm.
if you've ever heard of Toddlewood, but it is a brand that it's a woman who owns the brand, and she's a
Mhm.
photographer and director, and she recreates red carpet moments. So it could be the Grammys, Met Gala, and then oftentimes you would see these children, because it's in children form,
Right.
on the morning shows, whether it's Good Morning America, The View, Access Hollywood. So we worked together to recreate the Black Panther in children's form. This is before even the kid Black Panther costumes were really out like that. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
my son was actually the Black Panther, which was really fun. And
Okay.
yes, and the children were, there's an interview on Inside Edition about the process. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
but I was, before I launched my own brand, I was helping create costumes for the children while I was working for larger companies. And that kind of helped me get my feet wet, in a sense of doing creative things outside of my corporate jobs.
Mhm. Now, where would you say that you get your sense of style from? Like, where do you get the creation to make the type of clothes that you make?
I think it's a multiple things because I'm inspired by a lot of things like music, my environment, memories growing up in New York City. I feel like I was lucky enough to grow up in a time where it was just amazing, and I don't know if we will ever get that back, but seeing the diversity in music, people like George, along
Right.
with New Edition, and
Oh, yeah.
you name it, everyone, right? And then
Yeah.
seeing movies and fashion, and I think I honestly think that might have even been a height of fashion with the creativity and
Mhm.
Dapper Dan. You see all of the I'm seeing people that look like me wearing Dapper Dan and being out looking fly. So all of that is memories, and also traveling. I because I've been blessed enough to have opportunities to travel all over the world, being in India, being in China, and London, which is a place I really enjoy their fashion, in Paris, and even my own background, my own ethnic background, being um, African, foundational Black American with Native
Mhm.
American roots. All of that is sort of embodied in my sense of style.
Okay. Very nice. And it's beautiful. Your designs are really
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
They're really
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And definitely there's some African inspiration in it as well. So I just try to my brand has been sort of picked by WGSN, which is like that's the biggest trend company in the world.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they actually my little brand, they found my little brand, and they have us in one of their style reports as a children's brand to watch, because of the fact that it shows how to collaborate and culture responsibly.
Hmm. Yes. So, okay, so Monique, I have to ask you, if what type of advice would you give a young black girl who would come to you and say, "I would like to be a fashion designer"?
Well, I would say you have to really look inside yourself and understand your why.
Hmm.
Because if you're looking to be famous and you're looking to be rich, this may not be the thing.
Oh,
Because yes, there are people that are famous and rich that are designers. Of course, it looks glamorous on TV,
right.
but it's a journey. I don't there's so many fashion designers that I can think of that really have weren't really discovered until they were until they were like in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's a
Hmm.
journey. So if you are doing this, it has to be something that you truly love, because if it's not, you really will not find it to be rewarding, and you
Hmm.
really will probably not get the results that you're actually think you're going to get, unless you're
Okay.
already born with a silver spoon in your mouth, then that's different, right?
Right. Hmm. Very
um,
different.
I would say
Totally different.
also to have an open mind, because
Mhm.
not everyone follows the same path, and that path, on the path you may see someone else leading, that may not be for you, and to be okay with that.
Yes.
To have fun, to enjoy the little moments and the big moments, and
Okay.
to master your craft. It's very
Master craft.
important to research and master your craft, because there's no shortcuts. You have to know, um, even if you're even in bigger business, you're getting your things scaled and in large amounts, and you're having other people make these things. You have to know though how it's made too.
Right. Right. Okay, that's very great advice, actually. If anyone is out there and they're interested or thinking about it, or if they have family members or children or whatever, just listen to her. Look her up. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you just
No, not
find her
at all.
website. Look her up and give her a call. Not a call, but shoot her a message and let her give you some advice on this because if anyone knows it look like you can really you're the person that they can go to give that help. This has really been a very interesting interview and a great conversation. I have totally enjoyed it.
Well, thank
What's next for you? What do you see in the future for yourself?
I think there'll be some cool projects in the near future, and that I'm working on. And as I mentioned, I think it's important, especially in the climate that we're in.
Mhm,
And not to be negative or anything like that, but you see a lot of big business chain stores closing. A lot of things we're hearing. There's things that are not very pleasant that we're seeing out there, and it
mhm,
might cause some fear. Um, to think outside the box and do things that are meaningful, put things out
mhm.
that are meaningful, that means something, um, that may help to evoke some joy in people, and collaboration for sure. I think that I'm looking forward to working with more really cool creators and really cool people. I'm definitely very blessed to have a lot of a creative community of people who definitely are encouraging and help to push me to do better because they're that much greater. So definitely have to be I think that's advice too. I would say to someone
Yeah.
who's aspiring to be
Yeah.
mindful of your company.
Yes. Oh, that's very good advice. We look, we need to do that even if we're not inspiring to be
Absolutely,
a fashion
absolutely,
designer. That's just life in general. Be
yes.
mindful of your company. Yes, it does
But
make a difference
yes,
of your yeah.
definitely. I'm working on more projects that I can share. And I've been taking a break from. I was doing a lot of pop up shops last year.
Mhm.
I sort of pulled back from that because I want to make sure that what I'm doing is meaningful and um, yeah, that for sure. So
Yes.
I'm definitely looking that is what I would put out there. Collaboration, like I'm looking to work with more creatives and really do some really cool things.
Yes, yes. Well, you've been blessed with some awesome opportunities
Thank you.
already. So I do see a bright future for you. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I know you will go far. Everything looks great. Guys, if you get a moment, just go and check out Monique's Glover's fashion design. It is truly amazing. Now, is there anything else you do um, besides the fashion design, or is that everything that you do?
No,
In,
no. Along with that, I am actually working on getting my teaching certification. I've been working at an elementary school,
oh,
and
okay, nice.
yeah,
So you're
so
just all about the children then. You're all about
I definitely have been all about the children, and I think
that's
that
great.
um when you know your purpose and where God's leading you, you just have to just kind of sort of go with it and don't question it.
Yes.
So that's why I always try to keep children in mind first because I feel like that's always been my first love. So
Mhm.
to keep that, keep that close to my heart, even if
Yeah.
it's something, even if what something I do where let's say I blow up is like, oh, like she's a millionaire, she's doing this, that, and it's not children mind in mind. I still want to keep children close to my heart and do things because they're the future, and that's
Mhm.
very very important to me.
Yes.
And yeah, so yeah,
And what size does your children sizes start in? What
five
size?
5T and up.
5T and up. Very nice. Okay. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes. And also I do cook. I love to cook. I was on a cooking competition some years back on TNT.
Nice. Oh.
Yes, and I worked with a pretty big. They're growing. It has a big audience. It's called Khal.com.
Mhm.
KHAL.com, and it's a platform that's very unique where people can upload their own recipes, recipes, and share with
Mhm.
others.
Oh, nice.
So I was one of the figures that were sort of the main figures that sort of helped to really bring that brand to the forefront with
Right.
cooking videos. So
Mhm.
I really have fun showing my recipes, and I'm going to be continuing to do that as well.
And what's your favorite cuisine? What what type of food are you?
I mean, anything I have to say. I mean, soul food is to the heart,
All
but
right.
but
Yeah.
I anything with some spice, I'm all about. So whether it's Indian, Caribbean, um, the spicier the better for me.
All
Thai
right.
food.
Well, thank you so much. I have really enjoyed just sitting talking with you. This
Thank
has
you,
been
Risa.
very interesting. And like I said, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you, I hope you go very, very far with this. So I do look forward to going on your site and looking at some of your designs and purchasing some. I have a little granddaughter. She's not in the 5T yet, but she is growing. She's only 2, but she'll get there real soon. I know you have some wonderful designs out there. So, guys, if you get a chance, go on our site and just take a look. Monique Glover, this has been amazing time and show, but we are out of time now. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And for
Thank you.
you guys out there, I want to tell you thank you for joining us. This has been WGO with the amazing, and I do mean amazing, Swag Her Magazine. We will be back next time. So make sure you tune in. And if you get a chance to like and share our video, that would be great, guys. And we hope to have you back, Monique, very soon.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, I definitely would love to dress on one of your swagger cover girls.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. We'll have to get with Fancy about that really soon. We'll love to see that. We'll love to. Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in. Bye bye, guys.